Mm-hmm. The fucking train
It's crazy, huh?
is coming. That's it.
It's gonna go.
All right, Con.
You already pushed play?
Yeah, we got.
Shalom.
From
Yeah, we do.
All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. We would like to start off by giving all praises to
Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakbadash.
double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, shalom. This is just a few brothers from the GMS Houston Church. I'm Yachanan, and,
Car Abin.
The brother Shema one.
and we just here tonight to just to talk more about how the Lord loves only Israel, and by Him sending His Son Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, that He was sent for Israel to save Israel. It's literally in His name, Yahushua. He saves, He delivers. That's the Son. That's the name of the Son of the Heavenly Father. So we're just gonna get right into it. The Lord loves Israel. You know, and it's going to be shown. It's going to be made known. Despite right now, you think that, you think a lot of people think that the people over there, the small hats, they'll think that those are the actual Israelites, which you have Israelites scattered among them, but the real Israelites are around you, all around you, not being recognized as being Israelites,
Right.
not even knowing that they're Israelites. Just thinking that who the world calls Jesus died for everybody, when really Yahushua died for our nation. And He's coming to gather us. So we'll get that Malachi 1.
This is Malachi chapter 1, start at verse 1, right?
Come.
God, this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. It says, the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi.
So already starting off, it's letting you know who this is addressed to. It's to Israel. This book is to Israel. Guess what? All the books in the Bible to Israel. So it says, you can continue.
So Malachi chapter 1, verse 2, it says, I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
So the Lord is letting us know, hey, yeah, I've loved you. I always have. It's never going to change. The Lord doesn't change. It's the same yesterday, today, always, forever. Hey, I got it. All right.
6.
And whatever precepts,
I got a quick one. I know you got precepts too.
No,
Yeah, I know I'm getting it. You got
I only had this one. No,
it.
no, you got it.
Real quick, just going into the point of the Lord loving Jacob, right? Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 27. It says, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. And that's the Israelites, the ones that the law had been given in unto, who the Lord made a covenant with by sacrifice. That's only with the nation of Israel, and that's the people who the Lord loves.
Right. Hey, Lord willing, we get to the precepts too.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Exodus 24, all that. This is to Israel. Like, all this is to Israel. The Lord chosen one people. This is favorite. It's all throughout the scriptures.
I got another. Oh, you got it out?
At Malachi 3 and 6, it says, for I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So, Yahweh, our power, our God, our power, whose name is Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls Lord or God, is only for Israel. And he doesn't lie. He doesn't change. So in the beginning, when he gave the laws, statutes, and commandments to Adam, it was passed down verbally all the way through that specific line to through Noah, all the way down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to where later on, after the affliction that we received in Egypt, he gave it to Moses, and it was written on tablets. But that law was given to Adam, and it was passed down orally until Moses had it written, and it's a bloodline.
Right.
Everybody, you can trace the lineage back from, if you go to Matthew chapter, the first chapter, or Luke, the third chapter, you could trace the lineage from Yahweh Shah, back to, our forefathers,
Right.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and going back further all the way to Adam,
Right.
and Shem, and Seth.
I was like, how did Noah know what was clean and unclean?
Time.
Because there was already a law, the law,
Mhm.
before it was on tablets. I had another precept. If this is Deuteronomy chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It says, "Keep therefore and do them." It says, "For this is your wisdom and your
Start
understanding."
with verse 5.
Deuteronomy 4 and 5. The water. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, my God, commanded me."
Okay, can you get got Psalms 6,
Or
Psalms 148? No, yeah, 48.
Don, I got you.
That ye should do.
You start at the top, like
Deuteronomy 4 and 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, my God, commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it." Keep reading, or he about to bring that up.
you
It says,
Bring
verse
up.
6, it says, "Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people." And just showing you right then and there, it's a separation, because we're going to be the ones to truly benefit from the law, statutes, and commandments, the covenant that the Lord made with us. Like it tells you in Baruch, the 4th chapter, what the Lord gave unto us, don't give it to a strange nation.
Right.
It's not meant for them. All right. But verse 7, it says, "For what nation is so great? For what nation is there so great, who hath the Most High so nigh unto them, as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for?" So there's going to be a separation. Like you could tell, if the Lord is going to be a distinguishing sign that the Lord is going to favor the Israelites more than any other nation on the earth.
Right.
And last precept, verse 9, it says, "Only take heed to thyself to keep thy soul diligently, lest thou forget these things which thine eyes have seen, and lest they depart from thy heart all the days of thy life, but teach them to thy sons and thy sons' sons." It didn't say teach everybody else.
That's
You know?
beautiful. I'm glad you brought that out. But
Yeah,
I'm
Khan.
gonna come up again later.
Okay, Khan. Well, shit, you got it then. But that was just the point I wanted to make, because the Lord specifically told the Israelites, teach it so it won't be forgotten, right?
Right.
Teach it, pass it down to your children, and keep it going to their children, and so on and so forth.
Matter of fact, can we get that just now in Hebrews 8 and 8?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is something that
It is the new covenant.
yeah.
You got it?
I can get it.
Come.
Yeah, it's
And then what are you getting right now?
Hebrews.
Whatever.
You get Exodus 24.
This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8. It says, "For finding fault with them."
What's verse 7?
7 verse. This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 7. It says, "For if that first covenant had been faultless."
Right. The fault was with us, the Israelites. As we're gonna get, as we progress, we're gonna get it. And Lord willing, hey, the Spirit dealing with you, or if you understand, it's gonna make sense to you. If you meant to hear this, it's going to make sense to you. Because we just reading the scriptures how they meant to be read, precept to precept, or precept upon precept.
Right.
You know, and to the world, hey, to anybody outside of this, you know, this spiritual gathering, and we look like idiots.
Mm-hmm.
You're not supposed to read the Bible like that.
Right.
You're not spending the whole time reading one chapter and saying you have faith. But Slaki, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you good. I got a precept. But I'll pull yours first. Hebrews 8:7, it says, "For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second."
Right. So if there was no reason, if we hadn't gone off, and we hadn't gone through the curses in Deuteronomy 28:15 on down, if we hadn't have messed up, guess what? There would be no need for Yahushua.
Right.
There would be no need, to glorify him. There would be no need for him. There would be no point in going through any of this. But we need him. We need him. We need the second covenant. We need new bodies. We need a savior.
But if you don't mind,
Yeah.
the point you was making about how you're supposed to read the Bible, how you're
Right.
supposed to get understanding. I got this is Isaiah chapter 28, starting at verse 9. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast." So, we understand that.
We start up a little bit. All tables are full of Bible.
Yeah, that's the previous verse, Isaiah 28:8. It says, really to get the understanding.
Well, the point being that everything that you learn from the world, all the other doctrines, everything that's not of this truth, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, whatever things that you see, just people, niggas just speaking online, doing podcasts, whatever, all that bullshit that they come up with. Like how we were talking, Shemawan the other day.
I already know. Yeah.
How that vomit came out.
Yeah.
Like this man, the point is, you need the milk. You need to understand how to read the scriptures, how to get the basics from it. Otherwise, you don't know anything what you're talking about. You don't understand the scriptures. You'd be just one of these blithering idiots out here.
Well, I mean, when we go into Acts, the Israelite that they want to call an Ethiopian eunuch,
Right.
He said, how can I understand it unless some man teach me?
Right.
And Yahweh, Yahweh Shai has sent men on the earth in order to decipher the scriptures. The prophets have been around since the beginning of time, and the prophets are here today. The Lord never stopped sending his prophets to the earth. At some point he took, their understanding away, but now in the last times, in the last days, he has given his understanding back to his prophets to prophesy the downfall of this current age and, the wicked, Esau, Edom.
That's the only way the end can come.
Time.
The truth, like you're saying, the prophets got to receive that and testify, and it got to reach the four corners of the earth. Then the end shall come, brother.
The truth has to go out.
Right.
Because they've had the scriptures have gone out.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's Bibles all around the world.
Right.
They had hotels where they literally put the Bible.
Bible in the thing,
Yeah.
right?
It's got Christianity's
Right.
been all around the world, but when does the end of the world come? Now you're seeing earthquakes, multiple earthquakes daily, hundreds.
Right. And
You
it's
heard about the last 2-3 weeks? There's been how many sevens?
oh man,
Like
multiple a week.
Like how many fires have been going out? The war, rumors of war. Just we get a little sidetracked, but it's just everything that we're going into is end time prophecy.
Right.
And this word, even though we're going into a completely different lesson, guess what? The word still has to go out, and then the end is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
So the truth is going out. Like the Lord love? Who is he talking about?
Yeah. Right.
But if you don't mind,
Yeah, you got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 28, starting at verse 7. It says, but but they also have erred through wine and through strong drink.
Right. Different philosophies, things like that, things that bug you out. You know,
Are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment.
right? So there's no correct judgment going on because everybody's drunk.
Con.
Like
Yeah.
all these, and it's a spiritual drunkenness.
Right.
You know,
This is Isaiah 28:8. It says, "For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so there is no place clean."
right? So all these doctrines in the world, Christianity, all their different denominations, all that's vomit. All the different religions of the world, vomit.
All of that is you know, they've erred through wine, false doctrines.
Right.
You know, because as the lesson that we're going into, and Lord willing, we'll get back to it. Israel is the only one that the Lord is concerned with.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Point blank. Period. Israel is the only one that the Lord is concerned with, and He has used the heathens to punish us for our iniquities. But guess what? They don't get a pass. They don't get a pass. They don't get a pass.
Right.
Yeah.
But you got a point? Or
Where you were still
continue?
the
Yeah.
next verse, yeah.
God, this is Isaiah 28:9. It says, "Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast."
So those that have been matured, you've got the milk, the basics of the doctrine, understanding who, with the name of the Lord, His Son, who they love. They were here. Yahushua was here on the earth. He had physical parents. He's of a literal bloodline, the tribe of Judah, of the lineage of King David. It's all these things that Christianity, all this stuff will completely, vomit on.
And it's the milk. Okay, the Lord uses similitudes. He uses allegory, and what is the definition of allegory? Allegory is a symbol, illustrated by symbols. I can't remember exactly how the definition goes, but okay. So the Lord uses the things that He created, right? He uses similitudes in order to explain what He is trying to say, right? And through the prophets, He gives the prophets the interpretation thereof. But when you go and look into these different things, there's all kinds of different things that you can look into, right? The science of it today, and science, the word science means to know, and pseudoscience means false, to falsify.
Yeah, false.
So if when the Lord speaks of the daughters of Zion being like the ostrich, okay, look into the ostrich, right? The ostrich will, if they're frightened, they will scatter and they will trample their young, right? But that's why the Lord used that similitude. There are certain things, you have to look into what's being said and further into it, because on a cursory level, it just sounds like a saying. But when you actually look into the things that are said, they have deeper meanings to them.
Yeah, I got the definition of allegory for you.
Illustrate. Okay, good. You got it.
It says allegory is a story, play, picture, or other artwork where the characters and events stand for hidden or deeper meanings.
Time.
So that's not like when you see the imagery or read about the imagery in the scriptures, it'll give a whole, I'll say, plethora of symbols. Yeah,
Plethora.
yeah.
You got the accent.
It's the dialect.
He ain't underscore.
But that was like the elder the elder out of Dallas. I don't forgot his name right now, but he went into a lesson today on the dietary law and how we don't eat predators.
Right.
But the Lord gave us the law, statutes, and commandments, so we don't need to know why.
Mhm.
Although there is a reason why, we don't need to know why because the Lord disclosed that to His people prior to that understanding.
Right.
So and everything, everything when you go into the scriptures, it, like I said, is allegory. But let me continue. It says, this is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. It says, whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Okay, and I've read all the other the different versions, and they all fall short, because what the Lord is saying is that He is going to use His prophets to say a thing, and then He's going to complete what one prophet said with another prophet. So Hebrew hopscotch, for lack of a better term. You have to once you get understanding of what the scriptures say, then you can link it up with other prophets and what they have said, and they will all mesh and say the exact same thing.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make sense of.
Time,
Like that's how they go into allegory. It's showing a hidden meaning.
time.
Right.
This is what it is. We're showing you what the meaning is, what it's talking about.
And like I said, you have to be weaned from the milk. You have to be able to get the easy shit first. If you can't get that the Lord only came for Israel, the Lord only made a contract with Israel, then go check out the booty shaking video.
Yeah.
Because it's not for you.
Right.
It's like you.
I kind of where were we? You had Isaiah. It was Psalm 140, 49, 48, verse 19.
47.
47? Yeah. Okay. It's like it.
This is Psalm chapter.
What was the last one you read? It's like
the last priest. Yep, the 4th chapter. I'm holding Exodus 24 for you.
I got Deuteronomy 7 on there too.
Done. So in Deuteronomy 24, this is like recapping.
Deuteronomy 4.
4. I'm sorry. Deuteronomy 4.
Oh, okay.
Deuteronomy 4. How it says this great people.
Mm-hmm.
Giving these statutes. Can you read verse? I think it was 6 or 5. How it says these people were given the statutes.
Yeah, come. All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 4 in verse 6. Nope.
Or the 5.
Yep. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 5, it says, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
So, who did the Lord teach statutes and judgments? Let's go here real quick. Psalms.
This is Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh by Shem Yahushua.
Right. So going into the separation that you were reading, that you mentioned in Deuteronomy 4. So they're going to see a separation because what? He only showed this to them. He didn't show the law, statute, judgments to the other nations.
Mm-hmm.
But what you got a point?
I got Baruch 4.
You got it.
Since I quoted it earlier, I'm going to start at the top. It says, this is Baruch chapter 4 and 1. It says, this is the book of the commandments of the Most High, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Now, real quick, put it like this. If there's anybody on the earth that can keep the law perfectly, right? It says they shall not die. Who has that been promised to? Only the Israelites.
Right.
Everlasting life. There's a precept in Sirach 37 where it tells you the days of the numbers of man are numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. You know?
Right.
So if put it like this, if the Israelites are able to keep the law, they're not gonna die. And that's a part of the new covenant, which was made with the Israelites.
Right.
Then it says, turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it, walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Going back to that Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. Whenever we keep the ways of the Lord, it's a separation. We stand out differently. You know, the Lord is upon us with mercy rather than evil. You know, we get benefited from following our Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. It says, verse 3, give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. So what would they have to do with the law? Like they go teach us? Or put it like this.
That's a good one too. I'll hold that for
That's,
you. Hey, you got,
like,
no, you got it. No, that's good.
but that just shows you the law is meant for the nation that the Lord made a covenant with, going back to the precept that you brought out. He never did that with no other nation. You know? So by us keeping the law, that's how we're gonna live forever. The nations will never ever live forever because they won't partake of the new covenant which was made with the Israelites. Like it tells you, I'm gonna make a new covenant, but it tells you who the first covenant was made with, and that's who the new covenant is gonna be with.
Actually, we go back to that.
But
just
so like, yeah,
Hebrews 8.
not to lose your
No,
thought.
No,
That
you
was
got
it.
But also that Romans chapter 4, you know, because the promise was given to Abraham. You know, if we go back to the Old Testament, Genesis 35, the promise was given to Abraham, then to Isaac, then to Jacob, you know,
Right.
for the land and, you know, everything that goes with it.
Right.
So, you know, until Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's descendants inherit that land as an everlasting possession, then, you know, it's not fulfilled. It's
Right.
not fulfilled because that is our land. That is our land, and it can't. Yes, it has been passed to the heathen, but the Lord is not going to allow the heathen to stay in our land. Come on,
No.
you know, and they don't have a part in it. I'm Salakia, you know, I'll go. You said Hebrews 8.
Right.
Time.
Oh, I had a precept real quick.
I got a
Sirach.
couple.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah.
Con.
So this is Sirach 37 and 25. The days of the life of man may be numbered, but the days of Israel are innumerable. So even going back to where we started, Malachi 3, the Lord is showing us how much he loves Israel. Like we just Hebrew hopscotching how much the Lord loves us.
Right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
it. Like,
Time.
you know.
Precept upon precept.
Yeah.
Wean from the milk.
And
And
we
just
got
because we on the bottom, whatever, you can make up whatever pseudoscience you want to, saying we can't get stuff, we don't understand stuff. Nigga, your civilization is fucking collapsing, free falling.
Yeah, and you Israelites that are down with that, you know, guess what? You get to enjoy in the same destruction as your oppressor.
Yep.
Right.
But well, you know, we try and put dark skinned people, you know, you know, Esau has done that. Esau has made it a colored thing. So a lot of times we try and incorporate dark skinned people into the Israelites, but no, them motherfuckers is Edomites too.
Oh, you got some tears.
Yeah, because Esau has you know, raped,
Plant his seed.
pillaged,
Yeah.
and you know, and he sold his own seed into slavery. That's a 2-time loser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's done that in trying to escape his punishment and acquire the blessing. He's planted his seed looking like like the angel, like the Lord don't know. Like the Lord don't know. Like the Lord is not the father of spirits.
Like King Herod, I think. Nigga.
Yeah, come on now. The Lord is the father of spirits. He put the spirit in the body. So you can't trick him.
Yeah.
Like, and put this, since we talking about allegories or whatnot, you know, the scripture is literally, when Yahushua literally gave a parable about the wheat and the tare, so he gonna separate us.
Right, right. Yeah.
So he gonna separate the Israelites from the non-Israelites. Put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's talking about.
God, and it, like I said, there's a whole bunch. Like there has to be.
That's a lot.
Because for 400 years we were in subjection to this devil, and he was planting his seed from day one. So it's a whole bunch of Israelites. Well, no, Edomites, Hebrew Edomites
Look
that
like
were
so soon.
that got dark skin.
Right.
That they got dark skin, right? And guess what? They love their people to the point to where we can't tell by looking at them.
Nah, but you give certain traits, you could read spirits though.
And guess
You
what?
can read spirits.
The motherfuckers that love Esau want to save him. Guess what? That they eat him as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you could tell. And Jake wicked as hell and simple as hell too. You got Jakes who love oppression and their oppressors. Oppression and their oppressors.
Yeah, Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. But like you said, the scriptures tell you the Lord will separate that. He'll separate the wheat from the tares.
And what? Them that are healthy, them that hoping
Mm-hmm.
shall fall in a pit together.
Yeah. So if you join hand in hand with your enemy, you suffer the same fate with the enemy. You know, and going back to the point of the whole lesson, this is good news for the Israelites. You know, put it like this: on this side in this world, you want to be accepted, right? But we're telling you, you're accepted. The Lord chose you out of all people. But if it turns you the wrong way, that just shows you this ain't for you.
Right. And maybe you're not.
You may not be it. Yeah, you might not be.
Maybe like, you're not of the people. And I don't have a problem with that. I am of the people.
better you than us.
Right. I'm not worried about you. You know, the Lord has commanded us to go out and prophesy to His people. If you're not His people, then hey, turn the channel.
Or you can keep listening to hear your judgment. You know, so
the Lord said His prophets over the nation. It's like I ain't.
You preach it?
now I'm wherever you got, whatever you got.
You can get it Hebrews 8. And yeah, you can get that.
This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8. It says, "For finding fault with them, He saith, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah."
Right. You can continue. And because this is, you got it.
Yeah. Okay. So when it says this, it's talking about the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, because after King Solomon, there was a split. So you have the northern kingdom is saying Israel. That represents Israel. You know, in different scriptures, it represents Joseph, Ephraim. You know, that represents Israel because Ephraim is the head tribe of the northern kingdom.
Right.
And Joseph was Ephraim's father. So
It's interchangeable.
Yes, interchangeable. All of that means, and then when it says with the house of Judah, it's talking about the southern tribes.
Right.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. For those, for those that are new. We're trying to give you some milk, give you some milk. Drink the milk.
Right. Because there's a lot in that. Even though it's speaking of those two tribes, guess what? There's 12 overall. But this is how the kingdom was split. That'll give you an idea of what time period. You know, the kingdom was rent after King Solomon's death, and after his passing, and then it's the northern. What does it say? The northern and southern kingdom. Right. So that you have that, and then we're being reunited by this word. This word is literally healing our nation. It's where now you're seeing nations that started to be in fear. You know, and nations are really going to be in fear when our big brother Yahushua cracks the clouds. How it said they were terrified or scared, yet their spite
Yeah.
Like,
It's yeah. Just thinking of like how it's gonna change. It's like because it's gonna be a shift of authority back on the earth.
right.
Just how like we get troubled and we like fear strikes us. Like if the cops, if you even see lights behind you, just little carnal shit.
Yeah, it don't even have to be the lights behind you, just passing.
Yeah, like he like on the way here.
Yeah.
It's like damn. Look at the speedometer. It's like okay, I'm cool. The state trooper right there. But
You ain't even watching.
yeah, but just how Esau is the like the
It's funny now because thinking about it is like a lot of this stuff that we were scared about, but learning about like the news of what's going on around the world is like a lot of these cops or whatever, they stalking their exes. Like
They're losing.
someone's like they ain't nobody looking for you.
illusion.
Yeah.
Illusion
Ain't nobody-
is a bad.
I used to say we used to joke about that. Ain't nobody looking for you, Otis. You know, ain't nobody watching me. Like they looking for they fucking stalking their exes and shit. Like they're not paying attention to shit. These people are so caught up in their own shit that they're not seeing the kingdom coming.
Right.
They're not seeing these prophecies passing.
Man.
Like they're seeing just it's exciting times, but this is what we going into because this is something to look forward to. Is this new covenant? What is it? You hear Christians talking about it all the time. What is it? They don't give you a straight answer, but straight from the scriptures, it'll tell you because it's told you this new covenant with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, bring us back together. You can continue.
Well, today I went for a walk, man, and Jehovah's Witness was in the park, all females. I wanted to engage them, but it was all females. I was like, you know what? Even if it was a man there, you know,
They ain't got nothing to say to them.
they don't know shit. They don't
Yeah.
know nothing. I wasn't gonna engage them. I was just gonna ask them a couple of things, a couple of questions.
Right.
But when I saw that it was all females, I was like, you know, nah, it's not worth my time. Because a lot, you know, I get lessons from that. But it's Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8, it says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua.
And there, what he was referring to that the Lord was brought us out, our fathers, that's referring to Exodus 24. But for time's sake, it's Exodus the 24th chapter where the covenant was first made. And that was to the children of Israel.
Verse 10, it says, for this is the covenant.
And that was the agreement. Israel said everything. They read out the laws. Moses read out the laws. He gave the statutes, the judgments, everything. Our forefathers said, it sounds good to us. We'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I just read that today.
But
it said, basically, it's in Lamentations. It said the covenant was for those that were present and those that were not present, because we had sojourned in Egypt for over 400 years. So there were, you know, even back in the time of Moses, there were Israelites that were sojourning that weren't there. And that covenant bound them as well.
Yeah, it's still upon the nation of Israel.
Yes, it's
Right.
upon the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
that's where you were reading in Deuteronomy 4.
Mhm.
How it says you're going to teach it to your
Right, you're gonna come back
have to
and
teach
get
them.
it. Yeah, exactly.
But
Beautiful point.
Lord willing, you know, we get to it because it's gonna bring that up again. This is gonna be brought up. Why is it so important that you teach your children? And then why at a certain point you're no longer gonna have to do it? So you got it.
This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 10. It says, for this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. And okay, so now it's talking to all 12 tribes. Like before, it made a separation between Israel and Judah. In verse 10, it is explaining all 12 tribes. This is all Israel, the northern tribes and the southern tribes. It
Right.
says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest."
Right. So that's all Israel. Nobody was included outside of Israel in that pact.
Yeah.
In this new covenant. So is that it on that?
For the most part, yeah.
What's the next verse say? That's it. We're no longer gonna have to teach.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in us. The law, statutes, commandments are gonna be within us. Guess what? That's also in Deuteronomy. But if that's it on that, we'll close out.
Well, I got some more.
Hey, what? Real quick, that's beautiful what he just read, because that goes back to that precept in Sirach that you brought out.
Right.
How the days of Israel are innumerable.
Yeah.
Where's that precept in Wisdom of Solomon where it tells you if you don't sin, you live forever? I know I'm butchering, or am I getting the scripture mixed up?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Don't where there's no sin, you won't die. I'm getting it mixed up with the precept then, if it ain't in Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter. But it made me think about that. Lord willing, it'll come back. I'll find it.
Okay.
You can't do a search.
Yeah, I'll search it. But that the point that y'all just made, or the precept that the brother just made, it just linked it, just showing you who the covenant is for. The law, statutes, and commandments are going to be in their inward parts, right? Where you won't sin if you keep the law, statutes, commandments, you'll have everlasting life. But
I know what you're talking about.
But I'm gonna look it up. Y'all got it though.
I got a precept.
No, you got it.
This is so to further represent that point that we have made. This is Second Esdras chapter 3, starting at verse 26. It says, "And in all things that even as Adam and all his generations have done, for they also had a wicked heart, and so they gave us thy city over into the hands of thine enemies." Are their deeds then any better than that inhabit Babylon, that they should therefore have the dominion over Zion? For when I came thither and had seen impieties without number, then my soul saw many evildoers in their 30th year, so that my heart failed me. For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and hast spared the wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. So, the Lord is going, Esdras is talking about the Babylonian captivity, how he was gone into captivity, and how he understood that the Lord made a covenant with Israel, but yet the heathen, those that are not of Israel, were prospering. They were prospering, and we're going to get to the point. It says, "For I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning," and we know that sin is transgression of the law, "and has spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than them of Zion?" So Esdras is asking the Lord, like, look, I'm looking at all this shit going on, right? You have brought destruction on your people. You brought destruction on your people. You brought, but yet you let these fucking heathens prosper. we're watching the heathens prosper. We're in their hands, you know, and this is what Ezra is saying back then.
Mhm.
We're saying the same thing now. It's like, you know, it's you know, we're waiting for the Lord to show his power to the heathen like he has shown it to us.
Mhm.
Because we understand we better than everybody else on the planet. Well, I mean, shit. The history shows it. Nobody else could have endured the things that the Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have suffered. And guess what? You know, in your downtrodden state, you're still better than all the fucking heathen.
Right.
You're still better. You know, yeah, they use you for entertainment, but guess what? They can't do the things that you do.
Say poor man for his skill and Sirach.
Con.
Yep.
Con. But
I got a precept.
I
Salaki.
a couple more, you know. I'm getting to the point.
No, because it was beautiful. Because how Ezra is going into it, talking about you sparing these people,
Con.
and like, look at them.
Con.
I got a quick precept, real quick. No.
Go ahead.
Okay, this is Second Maccabees chapter 2. No, Second Maccabees chapter 6 and verse 12 in the GNT. It says, I beg you not to become discouraged as you read about the terrible things that happen. And this is whenever Jake was catching hell for keeping the laws of the Lord, right? It says, consider that this was the Lord's way of punishing his people, not of destroying them. All right, which is a difference. Verse 13, it says, in fact, it is a sign of kindness to punish a person immediately for his sins rather than to wait a long time, like Ezra was complaining about. Like, Lord, weigh our evil or our wickedness in the balance. You know, why are these wicked ass people ruling over us? Whenever, damn, they doing worse than us. But no, we belong to the Lord. So he punishes us immediately, just like a father would his son, somebody in his own household. All right, and that's the difference. Going back to your point, matter of fact, let the precept speak. It says, verse 14 again. Verse 13, it says, in fact, it is a sign of kindness to punish a person immediately for his sins rather than to wait a long time. That's an act of love towards the nation of Israel. All right. Then it says, the Lord does not treat us as he does other nations. He waits patiently until they have become deeply involved in sin because he punishes them. But he punishes us before we have sinned too much. So showing you the Lord keeps us away from going that far off. There's a separation where it's like, damn, why we got captivity after captivity after captivity, but it ain't the same for these other nations that never like regarded you, acknowledged you. No, because it ain't got nothing to do with them. Just like the promises, it can't be no other way, because the promises that the Lord gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are only beneficial to that seed or that offspring. The Lord never made a promise for no Edomites, Moabite, Ammonite. So where's their portion in the world to come? It's not there. That's a separation. But that was the point. Just going to what the brother was bringing out.
Go back to it.
Where are you going back to?
That second Ezra 3.
Yeah, you can finish it up.
Con. It says, for I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and have spared wicked doers, and hast destroyed thy people, and has preserved thine enemies, and has not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Sion? Or is there any other people that know of thee beside Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? And yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments. And that's the same state we come in right now. It's like, you know, we see these goddamn heathen. We see, you know, the all of the other nations prospering, right, while we are the outcasts, the downtrodden, the you know, the scorn of the world. We see this, right? And we're calling the Lord the same way that Esdras was like, damn, you know, we we had a law, statutes, and commandments. They don't know you. They ain't got no part in this, but yet we see them prospering. But I'm gonna finish out the chapter and then we can go on. This is Second Esdras chapter 3 and verse 33. It says, and yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor hath no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth and think not upon thy commandments. Weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell the world, and so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. It says, the Lord said, I've called you by my name, and you have profaned my name amongst the heathen. Like, they don't have a part in this. They don't have a part. It says, and when and and or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight, or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name have kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. And that's going back to that Psalms 147.
Right.
You only have I known. There, no, that's
Amos 3.
But Psalms 149, he showeth his word unto Amos, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation.
Read it again.
What's up?
This is Psalms chapter 147 and verse 19. It says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh by Shem Yahushua.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that Esdras was saying.
Right.
Esdras was saying, look, these heathen is prospering.
Mhm.
They doing good. But yet, where else is your name found but in Israel?
Right.
And I'm sure this is the prayer that brothers send up on a daily. Show them that Sirach 36.
Right.
Show them. Show them. You showed us. Show them.
Right. Who was that? Asaph? He was in that spirit of like envying the wicked to a sense or something.
73.
Yeah, until he came into the the sanctuary. We realized what it is, man. But you gotta all right, we should be good, Lord willing. All right, never mind.
Nah, well, we'll just.
All right, now we good.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, it's time.
Uh, I just got really two more, and then we just close out.
Come.
Yeah, brother, you get John 3:16. You got it?
Mm-hmm. Come. This is John chapter 3 and verse 16. Yeah, I say John 3 and 16, it says, For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son.
That word for world, that's cosmos. That's going into an orderly arrangement. It's speaking of Israel. This whole time it's been going into Israel. And I believe you brought it out without end. Did you bring that out earlier? No? Israel should not be confounded.
No,
Salakia, I thought, my bad. But still speaking of Israel, Israel is going to be perpetual. That world without end, going into our immortality that's coming. That we have when we have the law, statutes, commandments put within us. But that word for world here in John 3:16 referring to Israel.
It's-
So
I get the definition, but
uh,
it's G2889 Cosmos. It says an apt and harmonious arrangement or constitution, order, government, ornament, decoration, adornment, i.e., the arrangement of the stars, the heavenly hosts, or an ornament of the heavens.
right. They going into Deuteronomy 7 and 6,
mm-hmm.
and then also in Deuteronomy the 4th chapter, going into I forgot that's being close to the Heavenly Father.
Peculiar people.
Right. They're going into a peculiar people.
Right.
They go into some sagalat, a treasure. Going into meaning like jewels. It also says, Yahweh is going to make up his jewels.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to put us in order before your eyes. But you can continue on the John 3.
This is John 3 and 17. It says, For the Most High sent not his Son into the world to
Read
condemn.
16 again.
This is John 3 and 16. It says, For the Most High so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
So the whole time it's talking about Israel. The whole time we've been going into Israel, having everlasting life, having a law, statutes, and commandments put within us, being allowed to come back.
And reading the Bible with understanding, salvation is, going from this present life in this flesh to receiving a new body that is immortal, in a new construction. We don't know what it's gonna be. We don't know we're gonna be like Yahweh Shah, but Yahweh Shah is the only one like that. We don't know what we're gonna be, but we're gonna be like him, and we understand that he is alive today, now, somewhere. And we're, that's what salvation is. Salvation is not some shit that happens to you after you die. Salvation is eternal life on the earth.
Right.
Beginning on the earth anyway. Receiving immortality here in this existence and carrying that forward. That's what salvation is.
Right.
I'm slacking.
We'll close out back on Malachi 1.
Malachi.
Where we started. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
At the top.
You can start 2. We'll go
Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai.
So going back to John 3:16, how he so loved the world. It's talking about Israel. You, the world, Israel.
Where's that?
You got it.
It says, I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
That he gave his only begotten Son to die for us, that we should have eternal life, that we should no longer die. And you asking, where did the Lord love us? The Lord loves the entire world. No, it's talking about you, Israel.
Right.
You can continue.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
Look
Saith
at
the Lord.
look at Jacob. Look at Esau. He's doing good. Look at Esau. Look, he's not being punished. Look at all the wickedness he's doing. All the precepts we went through, man. You been paying attention? You can go back. This is a beautiful thing about these times is you can go back, rewind it, pause it, look some stuff up, come back, get an understanding. It's beautiful. Like the times that we in, like, you can do that with anything. You watching something, stop, take a break, meditate on it, get something to eat, think about it, come back later. Oh, I get it now. What kind you got it?
Don't. Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord.
Yeah, look, he had a blessing too. You're gonna have the fatness of the earth. You're gonna live by the sword. You're gonna take peace from the earth. Look at him. He's doing it. He's living up to his blessing.
Right.
Guess what, Israel? You're gonna live up to your blessing too.
Man. Right.
You got it. And
Yeah.
guess what? You're gonna get a twofer. Not only you gonna get your blessing, but you're gonna see this happening. You're gonna see what is that? Sirach, is it 26 and 10? How the downfall of your enemy?
Oh,
And enjoy your children.
25 and 7.
25 and 7. Salakia.
Yeah.
Yeah, way off. Anyway,
A chapter away in a few verses off.
Yeah.
Nah, you.
man,
No,
this man.
but it says, was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I love Jacob.
Right. So yet he loved Jacob. So even then, if you put that with John 3:16, he loved the whole world, but here he's saying he loved Jacob.
I got a quick one. I got to.
Kind.
Because just thinking about precept that came out, Second Ezra, the 6th chapter, going into how the Lord looks at these other nations like unto spittle, right? But this one specifically, how the going into Jacob and Esau, this is Second Ezra chapter 3 in verse 5. I'm gonna start at 15. 16 straight to the point. Second Ezra chapter 3 and 16, it says, and unto him thou gavest Isaac, speaking about Abraham, right? It says, and unto Isaac thou gavest Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, but put by Esau.
Yeah. Choose him to thee, meaning bring him close. Bring Jacob close to me. I like him. Matter of fact, I love
I
him.
love him. Yeah.
I love
This is my chosen.
Bring him over here.
It's my chosen.
And then Esau, nigga, just
Put him by.
Just, all right, man.
This ain't for you.
Yeah, here
You have not been given, you have not been made a covenant nor promises. And it's beautiful because it even goes into, it was something that you mentioned earlier, but even going with Abraham, Ishmael, right, was his son too.
You got your blessings.
Right.
You got their blessing, you got sent away.
But it tells you, it says thy only begotten son, Isaac.
Right.
Which Ishmael but got put by. The promises weren't attached to him. Then going over to Esau, it's the same thing. You know, yet Isaac now, he got 2 sons, but no, Jacob was chosen. Esau, you got put by.
Yeah.
This covenant, these promises, that has nothing to do with you. All right, it's specifically set for this seed, you know, which that and down that seed, that's where the Lord came for those people. But it says, as for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee and put by Esau, and so Jacob became a great multitude. Yeah, and that's how it's gonna be, and it don't stop because the nation of Israel is gonna be a world without end.
Right.
The cosmos, that orderly arrangement, that peculiar people, you know, those
that word for world and that world without end, that's going to I will
lump forever.
Going that would match with eon.
Okay, age.
Age.
Okay,
water. Age.
The water.
But still showing the world. Who is this talking about?
Yeah, who's gonna live forever?
It's talking about the people, the world, cosmos, and eon. Meaning the people, cosmos, the Israel without end, meaning forever.
Because the scriptures tell you in Daniel.
Right, I was just thinking that.
You
got it.
Yeah, the dominion is never gonna come to an end. You know.
Right. Back in Malachi. Let me finish that off. You can start at what is it? Is it the end of 2? I want to go into 4.
Okay, Khan, I got you.
Because not only is the Lord showing how he loves us, because hey, he sent Yahushua. He gave Yahushua. Yahushua gave himself up for his nation to please his Father, so that we can all enjoy eternal life with him. The same for everybody. Well, you got it, Doc.
This is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 2.
Right.
It says, but who may abide?
No, I'm sorry, Malachi 1.
Oh, Salakia. This is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2. The end of it. It says, was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Verse 4.
So we can close out on that, because hey, Esau is in rulership right now. Matter of fact, the saints are getting ready to take the kingdom in Daniel 7, but yeah, actually, yeah, we'll get that. Because this is Esau, his heritage, all that is getting ready to be laid waste. The same way our heritage has been laid waste.
Right.
But guess what? Our kingdom is going to be forever.
Hey, you know how it said in Baruch, just like we went into captivity, all the neighbors of Zion saw us going into captivity.
Right.
It's going to be the same thing with Esau.
Right.
It's going to be publicly known who he is, man.
The scriptures say they shall look upon thee narrowly.
Narrowly.
Is this the man? So,
in Christianity, they try to incorporate that into a singular antichrist.
Yeah, one person specifically.
They don't go into nations like the Lord intended the Bible to be read. They don't go into the wicked nation. They don't go into, there are many anti-Mashiachian.
which learning about a lot of Christianity stuff is like they teach about individuality, you the individual. No, with this covenant, it was with the whole house of Israel.
Yeah, the Lord,
everybody.
The Lord deals with nations. He doesn't he does deal with
individuals, but nations though.
But he's not a respecter of persons in that he deals with nations. And he ordained Israel to be better than the other nations, and he made a covenant with Israel.
Yep.
It's simple.
Yep.
For those that can hear it, but those that want their oppressor to win is a stumbling block. Well, Yahushua is a stumbling block.
Right. You got that in Daniel 7?
Daniel 7.
Yeah, going into the saints shall take the kingdom.
You want 44? That verse, or you want to go up a little bit?
We just get that verse. This
is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
The saints of the kingdom are the Israelites, who the Lord made the covenant with. Psalms 50 and 5. And shoot, we'll be here all night. But I believe the point has been made. The Lord loves Israel. He's choosing Israel. He's going to continue to choose Israel. So,
I had that one though. I finally found it. It's like
that's it.
I finally found it.
That's it. Lord willing was edifying. But yeah, Lord willing is edifying. We're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Hey, shalom.
Hey, shalom. Hey, shalom to the Akim on the comment board. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum, the water for the precepts. Shalom.
Yeah, okay. I took me to find wild.